would it be one supplier for 100% of all implants? That's probably not likely. I can't even say that. I would say that we would have to go through the analysis to take a look. But what we're doing is we're setting up our master agreement to kind of govern the relationships. But then we're also setting up to where we can take advantage of different regional movements back and forth. And so I would say that I would be surprised if one product line or one commodity, one source, just because of the amount of complexity that's there, unless it's a NPI that has a lot of fast-moving technologies, or unless someone just comes in and just buys. If we decide to divest something, if they come in and just buy the IP, you know what I mean?
So then, if you're dual sourcing, do you typically do like a volume guarantee or volume minimums?
There are those that would like to guarantee volume. My previous experience is that, hey, I will, instead of guaranteeing volume, I would like to more so focus on a split of business.
Got it.
But there are groups within that like to look at things both ways. And so, like I said, as we continue to staff up in this space, I mean, we're out of internal horsepower under my group. But I would say that right now the items I've been looking at, they do try to say, hey, here's going to be the volume, and they want to set up things tied to it, and there may be discussions around banding and all that, but I'm of the mindset that I don't want to do all of that. Just keep it simple and set up TCP agreements and proceed down the path.
Got it. Makes sense.
Hello? Okay.
No, hi. Sorry, I'm still here. That makes total sense. And then also, when you think about the contracts, do you typically expect price deflation to be built into the contracts, or is it relatively flat? And then within the price deflation, do you expect guaranteed price deflation, or is it tied to productivity gains?
I mean, being in sourcing, yeah, we want year-over-year productivity, right? And tied to that, to that overall productivity, I would look at kind of two points. I mean, the way the deal is structured is going to kind of depend on the data available. But what I will say is what we like to do, or the methodology that I'm driving to, is that we're going to look at the cost of goods sold, and we're going to look at the complexity and the conversion cost of converting that bill of material to a finished product. If the bill of material is something that has a lot of price fluctuation, we definitely would look at what are some ways to manage and handle that. We would evaluate and say, hey, should these guys be doing spot buys, long-term agreements with their tier two, and really start to try to understand what strengths and weaknesses that they bring outside of just their normal capabilities and competencies as an integrator, right? But in addition to looking at the bill of material and trying to get a good idea and a good understanding of what's happening there, we're also going to be looking at the conversion costs. And if they're taking over a product that's new, or even if they're taking over an existing product, and they would basically say, hey, it's a lot of things, a lot of unknowns that they may not necessarily have factored into when they create the prices. What are your assumptions that went into that? And when we start looking at year-over-year productivity, we would set up KPIs around things that we feel would improve their conversion costs, and try to set some different goals around those types of metrics. So year-over-year, I would say we do want TCP, and if we don't ask for TCP, it's probably going to require, it would be where it would have to be some kind of financial incentive up front before we wouldn't look at those types of things.
What is the